Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guru. Today we are going to deal with the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, Akshara Brahma Yoga. If I may, would like to go into a little bit of introduction before we go into the actual chapter. The introduction is this, that the Bhagavad-Gita, the title, the name indicates Bhagavat, the Lord, and Geetam, the song. So it's not merely prose. This is what I want you to bear in mind. It's not just prose. It is a song. When you say Geetam, Geeta, it's a song. So it's a song of the Lord. This is the meaning of Bhagavad-Gita. Why song of the Lord? Because the truths expressed in the Gita cannot be fully comprehended by ordinary prose. You need a little bit of poetic leanings to understand what's in them. Because what the poet says is often the subtle and the finer feelings and emotions of the human being, which any amount of essays or prose cannot reflect. And as far as the Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the hero, of course Arjuna is also a hero of the Bhagavad Gita, in a way, yes. But the main person is of course Krishna. And here is a personality who the Bhagavat calls a Purna Avatara, who on one side is a mischievous being playing around in Vrindavan. On the other hand, an accomplished charioteer and warrior who joins the battle of Kurukshetra. And third, and most important to us in connection with the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, is that he only in this part takes on the role of a guru. So here Krishna becomes the teacher and Arjuna the taught. This is a very unique thing in the Gita. Even though the circumstances are such that one would never think it's the right circumstance to teach something which is so fine and subtle, which is a battlefield. But that is exactly the reason why the Vedavyasa put the Gita in that part, because we are all in this battlefield of life. Nobody is safe or away from it, free from it. We know that from morning till evening, throughout our life, from childhood, we are in a kind of a battlefield. So, the first chapter is precisely where we all stand. I am including myself in this, because I am also not a hermit sitting in the cave doing nothing. I have a family, I have children, I do various activities. So I am in your boat. We are not in very different boats. Maybe I might be able to handle the oars a little bit better, I don't know, perhaps. But there we stand. So therefore, this is precisely the reason why the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. We are all in that chapter. Actually, when we start the study of the Gita, we are in the state of Arjuna in Vishada. Vishada meaning the despair of Arjuna, the sorrow of Arjuna, the indecisiveness of Arjuna. Means is at a crossroads, not knowing what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go. Precisely the position which we, all of us, face at some time or the other, many times in our lives. This is the beginning of the Gita. So the Gita does not from the beginning say that we are trying to lead you along a particular path. In fact, the Gita is perhaps the first world scripture which has said that many paths lead to this goal. Many paths. Among the 18 chapters, each chapter is called a yoga. And what is yoga? Yoga is the way towards the goal. In general, the Gita has only 18 chapters, so there are 18 ways. Starting, of course, 17 ways, because starting with where we stand, wondering which way to walk. So, having said that, I'm going to start with chapter 8, Akshara Brahma Yoga. The yoga of the imperishable Brahman. Not indestructible, but there is a difference. Indestructible gives kind of, you want to destroy something, but you can't. It's not like that. Imperishable, that means that which remains forever, as opposed to things which are here today and gone tomorrow. This is the definition of imperishable. And this also happens to be one of the chapters which, instead of starting with Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, so said Krishna, starts with Arjuna Uvacha, so said Arjuna. Arjuna asks a few questions to Krishna. It's very interesting. So we are going to look into this. Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna said. What did Arjuna say? Kim tat brahma kim adhyatmam, kim karma purushottama, adi bhutam cha kim proktam, adi devam kim uchyate. Question which many of us ask. He asks Krishna, O Lord, please explain to me, what is that absolute Brahman that we hear in the scriptures? What is that spirit called the Adhyatma? What is karma? What do you mean by work, karma? And what is it that is underlying all material manifestations, which is called Adi Bhuta here? And what are the divinities called Adi Deva? Please explain this to me. Adi Yajna Katham Kotra Dehasmin Madhusudana Prayana Kale cha Katham Nyayosi Niyat Atmabhi. O Madhusudana, who is Adi Yajna, the spirit underlying all sacrifices, that resides in this body, and how does he do so? How should a man of self-restraint meditate on the Supreme Being at the time of death? Krishna is already playing the flute somewhere. So, what is the question is this: what is that Brahman which is the absolute? What is the spirit that is called Adhyatma? What is work, karma? And what is it that underlies all material manifestations? And what are the divinities called Adideva? Now, underlying all material manifestations means, the Upanishad says that in all the differences that you see around, there is something that is non-different. In all the variety of things that you see on this earth, there is an underlying something which is its essence and not the manifestation. And what is Adi Yajna? Who is the sacrificer? Ultimate. Who sacrifices? And who is the beginning of all sacrifice on this earth? Because the whole creation is supposed to have been the sacrifice of Prajapati, Yajna of Prajapati. So what is it? What does all this mean? Arjuna is as confused as we are, so please explain to us. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavo Adhyatmam Uchyate Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaro Visargaha Karma Satnita. The Blessed Lord said, the Brahman, the Supreme Being, is called the Akshara, the immutable being, beyond whom there is nothing. This Supreme Being's power manifested in every body, in the human body, in every living being, is the self called the Jiva, the Adhyatma. The creative act which brings all beings into existence is karma. Now look, there is a completely different interpretation of karma here. Normally when we say karma, we think action. Our actions. We do karma. We say, we are all karmacharis. We all do karma. But the meaning of karma is the original act which brings all beings into existence. Plus the immutable Akshara. Now Akshara means the indestructible, that which cannot be destroyed, that which is imperishable, which is neither, which by its very nature is imperishable, and therefore there is no agency which can make it perish. This is Akshara. And that, says Krishna to Arjuna here, is the supreme reality beyond all expressions, all words, unutterable even by words. But the wonderful thing about is that you are also that which will come after some. We are not what we think we are. This pathetic human being who is afraid of death and pain and sorrow, and who is taken up by these little joys that we get. So this Akshara means, compared to all things that are here today and gone tomorrow, the ground of all existence is that Supreme Brahman. And even the mantras and the words that describe the Supreme Truth are still only conditioning factors. They are not the Supreme Brahman. Even the word Brahman is not. I have to tell you a story. It is said that when Adi Shankara was traveling in the south, in some place, some people came and told him, "You are a great yogi and a great saint. We have a small child at home. He is 5 years old and he has not uttered a single word till now. So maybe if you put your hands on his head and bless him, he may say something." So they took him home. So there was this boy sitting in the corner of the house, 5-year-old boy, who has never said anything. So Shankara asked him a direct question. He said, "Why don't you talk?" And for the first time the boy answered, which astounded everybody. He said, "About what?" He said, "Because if I talk about the truth, it ceases to be the truth. So I prefer to be silent." So he named him Hastamalaka, who became his main disciple, one of the important disciples, meaning one who held the truth in the palm of his hand, hasta, like an amalka fruit, Hastamalaka. So what the Gita is trying to say here is that Akshara Brahman cannot be expressed in any way. Okay. Then what is its relation to us? If there is something unreachable, unutterable, which is beyond all expression, what is that to do with it? Let him be. We live our lives. Not that, fortunately or unfortunately, that happens to be also our innermost self. This is the teaching of Vedanta. That which is unreachable, untouchable also happens to be when the mind is absolutely quiet and is not trying to grasp anything. When it is in its tranquil, pristine state, what remains is only that Brahman. So we are no more these puny little beings who are worried about this, that, running around. Now, when this Akshara in its pure conscious state manifests through the human being in a slightly limited form, then it is called the Jiva, Adhyatma. Now we come to the creation of the world. The Vedic theory, the Vedantic theory, is that nothing is possible for creation on this earth or in this universe because without some form of sacrifice. Which means there is nothing which you can get by paying nothing. That original sacrifice that brings all beings into existence is karma, action. And for that, action has to be taken. Adibhutam sharo bhavaha purushascha daivatam adiyajno aham evatra dehe deha bratam vara. O noble one, says Krishna to Arjuna, the perishable nature is the material aspect. That means the material aspect of that imperishable Akshara Brahma is that which we see around us in this world, which is here today and gone tomorrow. The perishable. Now, while the outward perishes, the inner reality subsists. You must note this carefully. Now, Adi Daivata is the cosmic soul which is the basis of all divine manifestations. Now here divine manifestations includes the powers of nature, the senses, the devas. It also includes the highest manifestation of divinity in the form of avatars. It also is the manifestation of the individual soul in every being. And I, says Krishna, here Krishna is speaking as a spark of the Supreme Being, not as the Krishna with his body. And I verily form the Adi Yajna. Why Adi Yajna? Because I am the object of all yajnas which men perform with their body and mind. Which means, finally, all sacrifices are performed to reach me. How? Start with ordinary things. If I want to achieve expertise in some subject, let us say, I sacrifice other things for the time being. Okay? I get away from my family. I shut myself up in a room. I sacrifice food. I want to finish this. I finish it. Why do I want to finish and become an expert in it? Because I think my happiness and my growth depend on it. So all our desires which we are ready to fulfill through whatever sacrifice we have to encounter is because we seek happiness in that fulfillment. Now Krishna says in this, the ultimate happiness, Satchidananda, is me. So in fact, indirectly when anybody sacrifices something to attain an object, is actually aiming at attaining me, because ultimate happiness is me. There is nothing beyond.